All right, guys, I am back with my next piece of equipment to unbox and try to set up. For those of you who are not following along with my videos, I don't do much editing. I don't try things ahead of time to make myself look good. I just go ahead and get new products in the box like this one from Hygger. This is the HG-951 mini kind of wave maker. I have not opened this box, I promise. And so what I do is I just like to unbox these things like a real person, just like you would at home, see what's inside, and then see if I can actually get the thing set up and running. So do me a favor, like the video, hit subscribe. I'm kind of following everything I do step by step in building this Nano tank. It's currently cycling and I'm just kind of getting things going. So follow along on my journey. I'd appreciate it. Hit subscribe, like, comment, and let's just see if I can get this thing going. So here it is, and we're going to unbox it and see what we have inside. Looks like we have a controller here on top. Let's pull out what looks like the instructions. So the Eco Slim Wave Maker instructions. This looks like what's going to be the controller. So we will work on figuring out how to program that. Looks like we have some 3M like double sticky tape and some mounting kind of brackets with some small little zip ties. Okay. We have what looks like our power supply. Okay, yes. Then we have our magnet section and our propeller. So this is going to need to go together in some fashion, but I'm going to read the directions. So this is going to probably be the magnet. Yep, right here. So, okay, so there's all of the components. Let me dive into the manual a little bit and then see where we're going to go from here. Okay, so installation step 1 is put the unit in the tank correctly. Okay, so it doesn't explain how to do this. I'm going to assume that this is going to go in here like so, but these are kind of loose. So I'm not super pumped. Pardon the pun, pump. I'm not super. I don't know what to say. I do not like this. Okay, I'm going to pause and then come back and see if I figure something else out. All right, well, I don't know what to tell you. I didn't do anything different other than turn off the camera, and then I just tried the same thing again, and it's probably because I wasn't doing it looking through the camera that it actually popped right on there. So nothing was different. Hopefully I went back and hit fast forward on that 2 painful minutes of me trying to do this, but it did end up just popping in there after all. So I don't know what happened there, but here's my magnet. So according to this thing, it is ready to be hooked up. So let's go ahead and take a look at this part right here. So we do have 2 different pieces. The good news is that they are different connections. So I'm going to assume it's not going to be that hard to figure out which one goes where. So another good thing here I love about making videos is that you can always hit fast forward. If you're like, what is this guy doing? Here's what I'm doing. I'm showing you what you're going to be doing at home, and I'm just willing to put it out there for you to make fun of. So I'm going to line up these kind of 3 prongs here as best I can, like so. I feel like, let's just check that again, right? Just line them up. There we go. Much better fit that time. Okay. So I am going to go ahead and actually screw around with trying to figure out the programming before I plug it in, and then it just sprays water all over the place. So let me plug this into a power source and get back. Okay, guys, I did go ahead and mess around with this thing a little bit off camera. I unplugged the propeller just to make sure I could screw around with it and it wasn't going to turn on. I went through my instruction manual and kind of followed through, and it does work pretty good. So first thing you need to know is that it has these 5 like preset times of the day: dawn, sunrise, day, sunset, and night. So there's 5 different times during the day, and you have to program those for what you would like them to be. But first you have to set the time. So first thing is, if you hit this button, it tells you what time it is. And so it's set to military time. So I set it to 21:02. So if I hit this M button, it starts to blink, and then I can just use this plus button and I could change the time, right? So I want to keep it this way. Then if I hit the M, it goes to the next one, and I could change the time. I'm not going to because I currently have it set to the correct time right now, which is 9:03, so 21:03. And if I just let it blink for a little bit, then it stops, and now it's set. So now what I want to do is I need to set these 5 different modes. And so I don't know what I want to do. So right now I've decided I'm going to set them all the same, but I still have to go through. So the first number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just tells me which time of the day it is. So it's going to default to whatever it should be in at that time. At that time. Right? So right now, if I hit the S button, it just goes back. It defaults to what time of the day it is right now. And it's in the night mode because of what time it is. So that's why the first number is 5. And then as you can see, the second number is 118. That's what I set. So if I hit the M, it's going to flash the first number. I don't want to change that. So I hit to go to the second number. So this is my intensity. So I can set this up to my different intensities. Okay, 1 through 4, 1 being the lowest, which is 40%. That's what I want. Okay, that's what I'm setting there, right here. I'm setting my power setting at 40% because I have a very small tank and I want to start off really small. Now the next number, I got to go through again. Now the next number is my wave pattern. I'm going to go with classic wave, so I'm going to hit number 1. Then my 4th number is going to be the frequency of my waves. Like how fast do I want the waves to come and go, and how slow, 8 being the slowest. So that's what I have mine set to, right? So the 5th time period of the day, which is night, I have it set at 1 intensity, 1 wave pattern, which is classic, and 8 frequency, which is the slowest. Okay. So if I continue to hit this, it will scroll through. Okay. Now if I go back to the first number and it starts to blink, if I hit this, now I'm going to go back through. So here's 1. So now I'm in the first time period of the day. So I can set that to be whatever I want to be. Okay. As long as it's blinking, I can change it. And then I go to 2 or 3, and then I change all of the numbers. Then I come back and I go to the 4th time period and I change all of the numbers. And then I'm back to the 5th one, which is what I showed you. And if I just let it blink, once I'm done, eventually it'll just set. And so I'm back where I started. So the S button tells me what time it is. This lets me know what mode I'm currently in. And just once again, if I wanted to change those modes, I hit the M. And now I can change mode, right? The 5th time period. If I hit this again, if I hit it again, it's going to scroll to all the different numbers one at a time. And then when I get back to the first number, it's blinking. I can then push the plus button, and now I can go through 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm back to 5. So hopefully that makes sense. So I currently have this all set at the same intensity, wave pattern, and frequency. And I'm going to put it in the water and see if it works. Okay, so I just have it set up down here right now on what is my ATO reservoir underneath my tank. And as you can see, this is what I have it set to, right? 118. So this is, you can see that it is on a very low intensity, but you can see how it's pulsating. So this is what the lowest intensity, the number one pattern looks like, and the slowest frequency of that pattern. So now let me change it up a little bit and just see what we think. All right, so I'm going to try to change this thing from classic wave to number 2, nutrition transfer wave. So I should just have to hit the M, hit it a second time, and then I'm going to change this to 2. And then once that sets, let's see what that looks like. Definitely a little different. Okay. Let's go ahead and change that intensity right while we're here and see what happens, okay? Let's change the intensity. Oh, no, that's what I did. I changed the intensity to a 2. Okay, now let's change the wave pattern. Aha. Okay. So now I have a 2 intensity and a more gradual wave pattern. So this is what the wave patterns look like. So the first one I have was classical. It was very abrupt. And this one's supposed to be a little bit smoother, as you can see, the nutrition transfer wave. Let's see. Oh yeah, it kind of pulses up really high, and then it comes down slowly. Oh, I like that one. Then it comes back up high, and then slows back down. Okay, oh yeah. All right, well, there you have it, guys. I think you have a pretty good idea of what this looks like. Now I'm going to put it in my actual display. Okay, so unfortunately, I don't have anything in my tank to really demonstrate how it's swaying back and forth, but it has definitely kicked up some debris and sand as it's all just been settling during the cycling process. So I can see how much more flow is getting all around in different places. Let's see, right? So you can see, I mean, there's really no dead spots. It's circling really well all around behind the rocks. It's circling through the middle of my cave and all around the outside. And it's pulsing in a nice wave-like motion, but it's not like, you know, making a huge deal where it's going to like splash out of the tank. So I'm going to keep messing around with this, but now I know how it works. It works well. It's very quiet. It's not over powerful, which I was afraid of because I'm already on the second power setting, and I think I could maybe even go up one. But of course, I'm going to wait till I get stuff in the tank and finish everything. But there you have it, guys. If you have any questions or comments, please ask. I just went through this whole process. You struggled with me. You kind of saw me struggle, but I got it figured out. It's actually very, very simple. Once you figure out the controller and you just do a little trial and error like I did, now I feel like I'm totally have it and I can mess around with this and get it dialed in once I get my corals in here. So please comment, like the video, hit subscribe. I'd really appreciate it, and continue to follow me on my journey. Thanks, guys. Okay, just real quick, because I thought you might want to see this too. This was that little baggie that came with all these different options, which is nice. It came with some replacement legs. These were the things that I was struggling with at the very beginning to try to get connected to the two magnets, if you remember that painful process. So it's nice to know there was extras to those. There's some different 3M like double stick tapes, some different ways to mount this thing, some Velcro. I think I'm going to use the Velcro. So over here, is where I have my little piece of wood on the side of my tank, and I have my heater control over here. I currently have my clusterfuck of cords, which I will fix, but I'm going to have this mounted here as well, and then my light controller will be over here. So I might just use Velcro and put it right there on the back, a little Velcro strip, and then another little Velcro strip right there, and then just whoosh, stick it right on there. So nice that there was lots of different options here. So just wanted to make sure you saw the whole package. Okay, so here we have it the next morning. So everything has settled, and you can see that it has left a little bit of a more natural kind of pattern in the sand, which I actually kind of like. But yeah, so far so good. Wavemaker's working spectacularly.